Hello, dreamers. Welcome to Not So Average with Shon Wilson. I am your host, Shon Wilson. Today, we are going to be talking about ways to silence your inner critic. That's right. We're going to take that voice out and shoot it. I like that. It might sound violent. I don't care. So let's take a look and see what guidance we get today from Mahakatha tarot cards on the best way for you guys who found this episode today or sought it out on purpose to take that inner critic out and shoot it. Your first card is the Ace of Wands. Love that. How should these people listening today take their inner critic out and shoot it? So we've got the World. Best way to silence that inner critic for these guys. The Hermit, you guys, I'm loving this reading for you so far. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. The best way for this group to take their inner critic out and shoot it. All right, finally we have, yep, that's right. The Six of Swords in reverse. Okay, so the very good news is you all are already on the right track towards doing it. The first thing that comes up for you is seeking out new ways of thinking, right? Even if you're somebody who has not realized that you had an overactive inner critic that was standing in your way, you still made it here to my podcast, and being here is giving you new ways of thinking about your life and your dreams. The other thing that's come up is that you should let yourself focus on success. I'm getting that some people, and I've been here myself, sometimes you're afraid to believe in things working out, afraid to believe in the best, afraid to believe that your dream can come true. And the expectation of success is something that you need to incorporate into your thinking. And I'm getting not just around the area of your dream, but also in your life, like all aspects of your life. Expect things to work out for you, even if they haven't always previously. Because here's the thing, newsflash, things don't always work out for anybody. Like everybody deals with disappointments and snafus, hiccups, delays. But you don't always know that about people because not everybody talks about their adversity, either because they are making a conscious choice not to dwell on it, or sometimes because shame is keeping them from looking like anything other than someone who's got it all together. Some of the guidance that I'm getting for you guys is to do meditation. That's right. With this Hermit card, we definitely get spending some time alone, and a great way for you guys to do that towards silencing that inner critic, taking it out, shooting it, executing it in whatever way you want, is seek out meditations. Okay. I've talked about some meditation playlists here on my podcast before. I think it's episode, don't quote me on this, I think it's episode 8, maybe 9. That's called Dad Says No. In that one, I share with you a playlist for reprogramming your mind that I have put together for myself to overcome not being adequately parented. So if that's in your history, you might want to check out that playlist. Another playlist that I've talked about of meditations is the 21-day abundance meditation by Deepak Chopra. That's also available on YouTube. And with that one, being a very spiritual person, Deepak does not just consider financial abundance to be financial wealth or money to be indicative of abundance. There are other aspects or other things that count as abundance as far as he's concerned. And then, of course, you can also do targeted searches, again, on YouTube or whatever other platform you might know of to seek out these sorts of things, and find meditations, visualizations, mantras even that are have been created specifically to target the areas where you struggle, where you feel vulnerable, where that inner critic won't shut the hell up. Okay. So I am a huge fan of Hindu mantras. There's a wonderful channel on YouTube. Once again, here I go touting YouTube, called Mahakatha. I believe Mahakatha. M-A-H Katha. So, yeah, check that out. They have beautiful traditional Hindu mantras. Hindi mantras? They're Hindi. Okay, this is where my ignorance shows. But they're great mantras to the gods and goddesses of the Hindu religion. But I can't say for certain that they are sung in Hindi because I just don't know enough about the language that they're sung in to say. But it is not English. And one of the ways in which this can be extraordinarily helpful for those of you who are English speakers and listen to my podcast is that it because the vibration of these mantras and these songs is what does the work. The music, the vibration, of the words that are used, the vibration of the music itself, the tonality of it. And the added bonus for those of you who don't speak the language that these mantras are written and sung in is that you can't put up blocks to receiving their message. Because if you don't understand what they're saying, you can't immediately, or that inner critic, I should say, can't immediately shoot it down. All right. So check that out. And there are, of course, mantras that you can find for yourself that are in the English language in case you want to use some throughout your day. However, you can also use the ones that are not in our language, right? Christina Lopes, who I've mentioned several times before in the podcast, she tends to mention a mantra with every single one of her videos on YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed to her channel, I highly recommend doing so. She is very much I think she considers herself to be a spiritual teacher. She speaks a lot about spiritual awakening and ascension. And these are things that, regardless of what your religious preference or background are, part of all of our existence. We're all always growing. And the last part of your reading here is that we clearly have the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords in tarot, if you're not familiar with it, is going from thoughts that are a hindrance, thoughts that are sometimes tumultuous, thoughts that are negative in their nature towards a more peaceful state of mind. So implementing these practices, first, seeking out new ways of thinking that are more positive for you, changing your expectation from one of failure or hindrance or challenge or obstacle to one of success, doing meditation, listening to mantras, doing visualizations, and then also repeating mantras throughout your day whenever you need it. A trick that I've mentioned before here on the podcast is when you see successive numbers, not successive, repeating numbers like 222 or 111 or 333, particularly on a clock. When I was in high school, we used to do what was called clock wishes. Instead of wishing, and I have nothing against wishing, but for the purposes of getting to this place where that inner critic is silenced for good. Side note, it probably won't ever be for good. This is work that you will probably have to do for the remainder of your life. But when you see those numbers on a clock, instead of ignoring it, because if you're a full-grown adult, which most people listening to this podcast are, you probably don't even make clock wishes anymore. You probably pay them those numbers on the clock, zero attention. However, if you're someone who does happen to notice those, use them as a time to reprogram your mind actively, right? So let yourself pull up one of these mantras, either that you've written down somewhere for yourself, get to that keyboard really quick and type it into YouTube, or you've got it memorized already, and say it for the full minute of that time that's on the clock. So if it's 2:22, then say that mantra repeatedly over and over aloud, not just in your head, aloud for the full minute until the clock says 2:23. I feel like there was one other thing that came up that I wanted to share in regards to that. Mindful meditation is something that I used to do. I would pick one thing for the day and one saying, one thought And I would just repeat it over and over and over in my mind. So this is internally throughout my day. If you are someone like me who is constantly thinking, there's constant chatter in the head, then this is a great way to silence some of that chatter, whether it's positive or negative, if you focus your thought on just one thought. So the reprogramming thought that you want to use to silence that inner critic. Yes, I remember the other thing I wanted to say. And it is this. Theta state binaural beats, again, available for you to find on YouTube. These are meditative sounds. A lot of times they are underlying music. If you have editing capabilities and feel inclined to do so, create for yourself a mix of different mantras, meditations, small speeches, whatever, and put underneath it the Theta Waves is what you're going to want. The Theta Waves binaural beats, which again are available for you to find on YouTube, and you can download them using Real Downloader, which is a free program that gives you the ability to download videos from YouTube. I've done this, all right? So, and just so you guys know, most of what I suggest to you are things that I have also done and have found have been very helpful for me. So, even if you don't want to make your own mix of things in that way, the benefit to that is that you are, again, targeting what you're listening to, targeting what you're working on in your own thinking. However, if you just want to make use of the binaural beats and the Theta Waves without creating your own specialized list, you can do that as well. Just hit play on the YouTubes and it'll be there for you. The thing that I don't like about doing that, though, personally, is that a lot of times it'll be like music with the Theta Waves underneath, and the music is always like they're like pressing down their fingers on the chords of the keyboard and just switching chords. It's all like, how do I say it? Like ambient music where you can't really tell one track from another or one part of a track from another. And that just bores the shit out of me. Plus, I feel like it's really pretentious. I feel like that's the artist going, I'm being all pithy and spiritual with my music now. Don't nobody need that. What we need, what we need is the Theta Waves. So, yeah. You can also, some people have uploaded to YouTube just the Theta Waves, but that can get annoying to just listen to by itself. These are the ideas I have for you today. I hope you have found them helpful. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye. Aren't my theme songs fun? I found them at Purple Planet Music. You can find music for your projects there too. Just go to purple-planet.com.